Here with Dave Smith once again, third year running, and you know, we talked a couple years ago when it was the MIDI 30th anniversary.
Yes.
Lots of sort of positive vibes floating around then. I can only imagine that getting your brand back has to be.
It was
at least as exciting.
Yeah,
exciting.
It was pretty cool. It came out of the blue. Yamaha was incredibly gracious, offering the name back, and so we were sitting there and said, well, what should we do with the name? And we came up with the idea of not doing a reissue, because we don't do that, but coming out with something that had the basic look and feel and soul of a Prophet 5. So everything is there. There's no menu diving because there's no menus, there's no screens. Everything is quick and easy to use. But it's not just a Prophet 5. You know, it's a modern synthesizer, so we aftertouch, velocity, sub-oscillators, effects, arpeggiators, sequencers, all the stuff that we're not on a Prophet 5 we can put on here. High-pass filters, a lot of things that weren't on there. But it's got VCOs and filters, all analog, signal paths, so it's got that part.
What is the filter design on it?
It's actually the same filter we use in the Pro 2. It's roughly based on the original Prophet 5 filter.
So one of the new discrete filter designs.
Yeah, it's a discrete filter. The VCO is discrete also, brand new design. But of course we have all new technology to work with it. So the oscillators are very stable, temperature compensated, and we still had to add a slop control because sometimes they're too perfect. So you could detune it as much as you'd like.
And what about the effects section?
In keeping with the overall feel for the instrument, they're very clean and simple. We have a chorus, phase shifter, 3 different reverbs, and a spring reverb, delay, bucket brigade, and you have up to 2 effects that you could have on at the same time. But each effect only has two controls, plus a mix, and then there's a simple on-off. So whenever you don't want your effects, if you don't want any, because they're digital effects, of course, but when you turn it off, there's nothing digital going on, it's all analog. So again, very quick, easy, fast to interact with. It's just meant to be fun to interact with.
The voice architecture isn't similar enough that you could load Prophet 5 patches.
Oh, no, you wouldn't be able to do that. Plus we don't have a cassette interface to do it.
Right.
No, again, the idea wasn't to copy it.
Right.
Each instrument has its own personality, but if you've played a Prophet 5, you know, you'll be right at home with not only the look and feel, but the sound.
And how does it coexist with the Prophet 8 then, would you say?
It's more expensive than the Prophet 8 because of all the electronics that are in there. It costs more, if that's what you want, but the whole idea is to give people choices. You know, some people pick the Prophet 8 over the Prophet 12, other people like the Prophet 12 over the Prophet 8, some people bought both. This is just yet another variation. So if you wanted VCOs and a simpler interface and a simpler voice, then this is perfect. If you want something that does everything and has the huge sound, then the Prophet 12 is best. And the Prophet 8 is kind of in between. It's just kind of a classic old slab polysynth. But since nobody else seems to be wanting to do analog polysynths, we don't mind competing with ourselves, which is what we're doing.
And along those lines, will the two brands coexist going forward?
Oh yeah, we have no long-term master plan. This is a sequential product, the Pro 2, the other products are Dave Smith instrument products, but obviously we're selling them all. So, you know, there's no statement being made, there's nothing, we don't know what it means going forward.
It has to be exciting, like I said, to get the brand back and to be able to do
pretty awesome.
Prophet. Yeah,
it's really awesome.
And what about any more Eurorack plans at the moment?
Well, we have a new one here that we just started shipping, the character module.
Yep.
We basically took the character module out of the Prophet 12 and Pro 2 and put it into a Eurorack. A lot of people love this part of it. We actually got a lot of requests to do this. So it's actually, it's got 5 knobs and 5 control voltages for the 5 different effects. And it's actually stereo in and out, so you have 2 completely different channels. One of the things we like to do sometimes is actually take the output of one and then run it into something else and then put it back into the other side. And so there's all kinds of stuff you can do with it.
And I don't expect you to announce unannounced products or plans, but do you think There might eventually be an oscillator module, or are you going to do utility modules? Do you think there might eventually be a Dave Smith complete synth voice module?
We also haven't really decided. There's a lot of things we could do. I mean, well, obviously there's modules, we can do anything. Probably the oscillators are the most requested, but the problem with them is our oscillators are fairly complex. I mean, I suppose we could do just a VCO, but everybody wants like the Prophet-12 oscillators, but that's a lot of controls, and it ends up being, to do it right, if you really wanted everything, it'd be a pretty big module, maybe almost too much.
Sure.
But you know, never say never. We just don't know yet.
Okay. And anything else? I haven't had a chance to peruse the specs about this. People at their computers probably know more than I do right now. But anything else about the design of the Prophet-6?
I think we covered most of it. You know, there's a ton of control voltages flying around on the inside, and again, we're using modern technology to keep things in tune and make it work well. And
are there CV outs as well?
No. Okay. No, again, as soon as you start adding a lot of stuff like that, then the UI gets more complicated, and we're just trying to keep it.
So the Pro 2 is your
if you want
control station.
If you want something in the center, that's the guy to do it.
Any opportunity to use Prophet-6's built-in sequencer to sequence external instruments over MIDI?
The sequencer is very simple. You have 2 switches.
Okay.
But it's got 64 steps, and each step can be up to 64 or up to 6 voices. So it's actually a polyphonic step sequencer. So I could, just do this. Or you could do basic simple stuff, monophonic lines. So it's just, there's no overdubbing, you just sit there and play it back. If you don't like it, you can re-record it, because it's a step sequencer. It's really fast and easy to use.
And the aftertouch, is it channel aftertouch or polyphonic?
No, it's through standard channel. Okay. It'll respond to polyphonic over MIDI.
Oh, okay. Just trying to think what else. High pass filter on this one.
Yes, a resident high pass filter. So,
what any particular sound need that drove that, or just more options, more flexibility?
Yeah, high passes are fun to play with. I mean, and that's again one of the more modern things. The Prophet-5 didn't have it, and it certainly doesn't hurt anything to add that. It's still all analog, and it's just one more tool. Took a little bit more space, but it's still very concise.
So yeah, congratulations again about not to diminish the other company and the other name or the other branded stuff, but like I said, getting Sequential back has to be
pretty
emotional.
Cool. It's very cool.
Yeah, that's great. Congratulations. Thanks, Dave.
Okay, thank you.